This is big drama. According to Deadline, Emmy winner Julia Garner is set to play the iconic character of Silver Surfer. Now, who does that?
A lot of people jump to the conclusion that they're gender swapping Silver Surfer. Actually, they're not.
Right.
Shalla-Bal is a character. All you gotta do is go to the Marvel database, and they describe that she is.
Shalla-Bal has also been the Silver Surfer before in the alternate reality of Marvel's Earth 9997.
So, she's not playing Norrin Rad, okay? She is playing Shalla-Bal. I mean, come on, people.
If you see any videos saying Marvel wokeified Silver Surfer, just know it's people being stupid and they're not real fans and don't even pick up comic books.
Put a chick in it, make her gay.
Now, why did they do this? What was Marvel's possible thinking?
I mean, listen, yes, this one is a more obscure character.
I don't care. You know why? Because I don't even think Silver Surfer's that interesting of a character to begin with, first and foremost.
The bottom line is there's just a lot of people who don't want to see women get major roles.
The foolishness of that comment is so deep, I can only ascribe it to higher education.
But look closely at Tobey Maguire's dick.
You have to have gone to college to say something that stupid.
Nerdrotic.com.
Some may argue that the phrase the MCU has had its time. It's an expired meme and it's a bit overdone, and I would completely agree with you. I was ready to retire it, but apparently Disney Marvel isn't. They keep pulling me back in. It was supposed to be a quiet year for Disney Marvel after the biggest flop in their history, The Marvels, and then following that up with Echo, although we haven't heard much about that series lately. Forgive me, I had to get one more in there and give this video a leg up. But now, after Disney spent $40 million fighting off Nelson Peltz and putting out political ads like this.
What's the harm of letting activist investor Nelson Peltz or Jay Rizzullo have a seat on Disney's board? The answer is simple. If they succeed, Disney could suffer the same fate as other great companies that Peltz has previously infiltrated.
Important you vote only for Disney's 12 nominees using the white proxy card. Do not vote for the Trian Group or Blackwell's nominees.
And keep in mind, all of that was just to keep 2 people off the board. Bob Iger's job was never in danger. But obviously, Bob Iger and his board of yes men and women thought his plan was in danger. Ultimately, and as expected, the weatherman was victorious. The dinosaurs voted to ignore the meteor, and just a couple of short hours later, his plan was revealed by Disney announcing the most MCU of MCU decisions.
We've got to pander harder.
From the people who brought you female Taskmaster, female Loki, female Thor, and up until this point, the worst of them all, female Captain Marvel. No, not that bad female Captain Marvel. This bad female Captain Marvel.
Change the character just a little bit.
Ladies and gentlemen, Disney Marvel presents the latest character and casting announcement from the Fantastic Four film that will blast misogyny in the face with the power cosmic. Female Silver Surfer. From Deadline, the Fantastic Four Julia Garner joins Marvel Studios movie as a Shalla-Bal version of Silver Surfer. Now, I have nothing against this actress, but maybe Disney and her agent does because she probably has no idea what she's getting into.
I'm sorry.
Hey.
You're a fucking liar, and I'm gonna kill you.
Ruth?
I'm gonna kill you if you don't tell me.
No, you are not.
And to be fair, she'd probably be more convincing as a Silver Surfer than Pedro Pascal as Mr. Fantastic, the smartest man in the Marvel Universe. But that doesn't change the fact that this is an incredibly stupid casting announcement, and we'll get to that. But first, let's hear from the dying Access Media and the Wikipedia experts. Sources tell Deadline that Emmy winner Julia Garner is set to play the iconic comic book character in Marvel Studios' The Fantastic Four. Now, maybe in my over 40 years of comic collecting and 10 years of comic retailing, I missed the seminal run of the Shalla-Bal Silver Surfer that went over 100 issues that earned her the mantle of icon. But the first of our, well, actuallys is going to come from the Audio Video Club. Please be normal about Julia Garner playing the Silver Surfer. Well, fans are being normal, and that's what you fail to understand, and that's why the Access Media is dying, and it can't happen fast enough. For years now, the fans have been asking for Disney, Marvel, and all of woke Hollywood to be normal about their casting announcements. The Ozark star is set to play the Shalla-Bal version of the Surfer, and we'd like everyone to act like grown-ups about it. I guess that depends on what kind of grown-up you're talking about. A normal grown-up with some common sense who didn't even have to read the comics or know who Shalla-Bal is, who can see through this horrible business decision, or the kind of grown-up that needs to suck on the corporate titty to maintain their access. The Silver Surfer is a male named Norrin Radd who sacrificed his soul, his freedom, and his dick and balls being encased in silver to become the Herald of Galactus, helping the big purple guy find planets to consume, some with life on them, all to save his planet Zenla and his girl who lives on it, Shalla-Bal. That is the iconic Silver Surfer, one of the more popular characters from Marvel, but now the Access Media and the Wikipedia experts are going to tell us we're wrong. They're going to say we shouldn't care. And if you do, you're sexist and misogynist. And you just hate women, because we haven't heard that one before. The article's author, Matt Shimkowitz, who currently has his Twitter account protected, tries to rationalize this casting choice by equating it to Michael Keaton's Batman. Some people can't handle any time, and I guess he meant to say there is a slight swerve in casting. We can take it back to Michael Keaton playing Batman. While there was some backlash, I seem to recall that Batman is a dude and Michael Keaton is a dude, so it gives you something to work with, and it obviously did. As with most major male comic book characters, particularly from Marvel and DC, there is some female derivative version. Some have worked, a lot haven't. And it's no different for the Silver Surfer. There is a Shalla-Bal version in the alternate Earth X timeline, and there is a Juno version from, quite frankly, a comic book series I never read. Something the Wikipedia experts will now know about.
Oh, and here they come. The human race.
Here comes the most misogynistic people you will ever meet in 3, 2, 1. There's a female Silver Surfer in the comics. Literally, this post has her. People will call this woke and not know the source material. Great, then you should be well aware that Shalla-Bal is a completely separate character than Norrin Radd, and the concept of a female Silver Surfer has existed for years in the comic books. What's the deal? There was a female Silver Surfer in the comics. This should be a no issue unless you don't like the choices of actress to portray the female Silver Surfer. Discussing film, could you please refer to her as the actual name of her character rather than just female Silver Surfer? People are seeing this and thinking Marvel is gender-bending Silver Surfer when they're actually just using another character who held the title. Just going to leave this here. Female Silver Surfer is comics book accurate. You know how I know? I Googled it. I can't wait for people to complain about Marvel being woke and act like there has never been a female Silver Surfer. I don't even read the comics, but I know about the female Silver Surfer. No, I don't remember her name. And no, IDC, I don't care, because it doesn't matter.
Yak, yak, yak. Get a job.
Well, if it doesn't matter, then why bother changing it? Just make him the Norrin Radd Silver Surfer. If it doesn't matter, then why bother posting about it? Then we get the rationalizations. Maybe this is a multiversal story, which it probably is, and we'll get the Franklin Richards Galactus along with the Shalla-Bal Silver Surfer. Or maybe we'll get what the Audio Video Club is proposing. We're sort of assuming that Shalla-Bal's inclusion in the film means that the male-identifying Silver Surfer will also appear in the movie, at least in a mid or post-credit sequence. I can't imagine why the Access Media is dying. But let's, once again, cut the bullshit and, what we do here a lot on YouTube, state the obvious. They made this decision because it is important to them. It was purely based on the message. You know this, I know this, the Access Media knows this, and even some of the stans on Twitter know it. Otherwise, they would have gone with a much more established female Herald of Galactus in the comics, Frankie Ray's Nova. It would have made more sense, but it still would have been stupid. And let's put it in its simplest terms. If you want to make a successful movie, you want to give it its best chance to succeed. If you're, say, Disney, and you completely own the rights to something like the Fantastic Four, you want to adapt it as close as humanly possible. Now, I might be going out on a limb here, but there's an argument to be made to just adapt Fantastic Four #1. No Franklin Richards, no Shalla-Bal, no Norrin Radd, no Galactus. Maybe introduce Victor Von Doom at the end. Just have the Fantastic Four. That is Reed Richards, Sue Storm, Johnny Storm, Ben Grimm, and the Mole Man. Why don't you just try to make, I don't know, a good Fantastic Four movie first and then expand on the lore, and why am I wasting my breath? I mean, the only thing the Fantastic Four #1 did was launch the biggest comic book company of all time. For those of you who don't know, the Fantastic Four established the world that Disney was making billions on just a few years ago. It introduced the Skrulls, which Disney fucked up. It introduced an early version of Warlock, who Disney fucked up. It reintroduced Namor, who is now known as Namor, who Disney fucked up. It introduced the Inhumans that Jeff Loeb and Ike Perlmutter fucked up. It introduced Black Panther, which Marvel has fucked up. And yes, it introduced the Silver Surfer, which they've already fucked up, Galactus, and Doctor Doom, which they will fuck up. Oh, and I forgot one. They've already fucked up the introduction of Mr. Fantastic by popping off his head in Doctor Strange Mom. Disney does not deserve your benefit of the doubt. The Fantastic Four is doomed. And in all honesty, it has very little to do with Julia Garner's casting as the female Silver Surfer. It's just another red flag. But what the hell do I know? What the hell do you know? What the hell did Archie Goodwin, Roy Thomas, George Perez, John Byrne, John Romita, Rich Buckler, Jack Kirby, or Stan Lee know about the Fantastic Four? Obviously not as much as the director of WandaVision and the writer of Terminator Dark Fate, along with Kevin Feige, whose Marvel Studios has been in steep decline for the last 5 years, and the 73-year-old former weatherman who just figured out gaming is popular with kids this year, who's really good at buying beloved IPs and destroying them, Bob Iger, the same guy the stockholders just gave a huge vote of confidence to.
They knew what they were getting into. I say, let them crash.
Nerdrotic.com.
If you like what you heard, please like, share, and subscribe. If you didn't like what you heard, thank you for listening this long. I will see you in the next video.